Today, we're going to answer the question the whole world has been asking. Can you make money while you're sleeping? And the real question is, can I make $5,000, $2,000, $3,000 just by sleeping? Today, we're going to answer that question. I'm going to show you the tool you're going to need to do it. And I'm going to give you two methods that we used and implemented and give you the results day by day. And I'm going to tell you the strategies you need to do to put in place. So with that being said, guys, if you saw my first video on how to make money while you're sleeping, we actually wanted to put it to a test. And we put the accelerate to a test with two different strategies. We had a high value strategy, which means someone that was putting in 4 or 5 SOL per play. And then we had a lower amount strategy, someone that was putting 0.2. That was me, right? We were setting that up. So with that being said, quick overview of what the Accelerate is. The Accelerate is a platform, or aka a bot, that allows you to connect your wallet non-custodially, and in addition to that, it lets you link a Telegram, which a lot of people are using mine. So if you're not in my Telegram group, definitely recommend it. We'll go over like the P&L real quick here. What you want to do is log into my Telegram, and then once you're in there, anytime I post a CA or a contract address, this bot will automatically buy it for you. So whether you're sleeping, whether you're out with your girlfriend, whether you're at the club, whether you're watching TV, whether you're at the movies, it's literally going to buy for you and sell for you depending on the strategy you set up. I'm going to go over different strategies and which ones we found that works the most. But first and foremost, let's go over the P&L of the stuff we actually did this week. And the people who are following me on X and also on TG, how much they're printing, right? So let's go here. We're going to go down to the, I believe we'll start off with the 16th. So we called Citadel. That's a 60% increase right there. We called Harkey. That's a 90%. We called Pochang, I believe. That was a 2x right here, almost a 3x. We called Maya. That was a 80% right there. We called, I forgot which one this one is. I think this was Funk Book or something like that. That was a 3x right there. No, this was the Funk Book one. That was a 2x right here. We called Fort Book, which was a 8x. We got the Elin coin, which was a 2x. We got the Swarms, which is a 2x. We got Ella, which was 90%. We got Seta. This was like the only bad call I had this week. And this was basically the dev's fault. Okay, so that's not even on me, but hey, it is what it is, right? So one bad call out of all of them, I think we're pretty solid. That's like 90%, like more, like 98. So we got TOT. That's a 2x. We called Robocoin. That's a 20x, boys. 20x right there. Bing, bada bang. So if you would have put 1 SOL in, you would have came out with 20 SOL. We got Surscan. This was actually called today. So this is going up and down, up and down. I don't know where it's going to be, if it's going to 2x, 3x, but we're going to see at the end of the day. Overall, we also called this one right here, guys, which was, I believe this one, this is 4848. This one right here, we got a 25x. So you would have put 1 SOL in, you would have came out with 25 SOL. So just keep in mind how much money that would be. You guys would be pretty much printing, right? On these calls, because almost every single of these calls is 2xing. So how do you set this up? I have a video on how to set it up, but I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of the strategy. I'm going to show you the money we started off with day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then what we did to change it up. So the first thing I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't only trading with my Telegram group, that I was also trading with the bots, the Telegram groups that the platform also has. So if you go to scan here and you click on channels, you'll see a bunch of channels here that are making calls. But I'm going to give you guys my results. And unfortunately, my results for some of these channels aren't that great. But, it could just been my strategy wasn't working. So it's something, you're going to have to test. But personally, right now, I would primarily recommend my group. Okay, the link is down below. So, all right. So before I show you guys the setup that we have for the bots, I do want to give you guys a little bit of transparency. So that way you guys know exactly what you're doing. What you want to do, guys, whenever you're making a transaction, of course, you guys know you're going to be paying some taxes to the platform, but you want to know how much you're paying depending on what transaction you're making, right? So what you want to do is go up here to the little profile, click on profile here, and then click the little cogwheel. And once you click the cogwheel, this is going to be automatically for you. It's going to be off. So just click and turn it on where it says show fees, because what this is going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to see the fees that you're paying every single time you're doing a transaction. It's extremely important. That way you understand how much you're paying and how much you're putting in, right? Now, with that being said, let's talk about the strategy I implemented with the least amount of money and which was $300. That's what I started off with. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about the other strategy that we implemented with larger sums of money and how that works. So let's get started. So we're going to kick on the bot and we're going to go to triggers. And for triggers, we're going to go ahead and click that we every time that I make a call or that any Telegram group makes a call, I want to buy 0.2. In addition to that, I want to set targets. So basically, the way my target works is that I want to say, okay, you know what? Every time this token does a 50%, so that means it goes not double, but just 50%. I want to sell 80% of whatever I put in. And then I'm going to add another target and say, okay, so now I want to do is that every time this bot hits 100%, which is 2x, I just want to take all of it out. So that's pretty much it. That's what I'm doing. So 50%, I'm taking 80. 2x, I'm pulling away everything, and that's it. I'm not doing anything else. Another thing I want to do is I want to set a stop loss. So if it goes lower, I want to make sure that it sells me out. So usually when I make calls on my TG, I set my stop loss very, very high because I know a lot of people are going to sell at a certain threshold. So usually what tends to happen is the chart will dip. And if you have this set to like 30, 40, it'll dip below that, but it always bounces back up. So what you want to do is at least in my group, I feel very, very confident that if I put this to 70, 80%, I should be fine. So I'm going to put this to 80, and then I want to sell 100 if it dips to 80, So that's basically what I'm doing. It's just like I feel very confident on my calls. And this is only for my particular group at the current moment, guys. I've tested other groups, and I'm not super confident on them, but this is just basically for mine one right now. Okay, so we're going to hit save, and that's going to be saved. So once again, anytime we're going to buy 0.2, it's going to sell once again, and it's going to sell. And if it dips very low, it's going to sell. Okay, very simple. Another thing we want to do is priority. This is where a lot of people get stuck. So you want to make sure you hit Sol because we're trading on Solana. I have the slippage set to auto, and the gas fee I have set to auto, and I have anti-mev on turned on. That's how you want to set it up. But it's very important that you understand that this is going to determine how fast you get in a call. Because one question I was getting is like, you called it at this market cap, but I got in higher. Think of it like going to a club, and there are 3 different sets of tickets you could buy. You could buy the regular admission, you buy the VIP, or you could buy the RSVP, right? So basically that's basically what it is. When you get to the club or when you get to the game, if you want to sit front row, you're gonna go high. If you want to sit in the middle, you're gonna sit in the middle. If you want to sit in the nosebleeds, you're gonna go low. So depending on whichever one you pick, it's how fast you will get in a call. So if I made this call at 117 market cap and you wanted to get in like at 119, 120, then you would have to go high, and that's going to increase the amount you pay. As you see here, it says 0.006. You're paying a lot of SOL into it, but you're getting in there quick. If you go to medium, you're paying a little bit more SOL, but you're getting in there not as quick as high, but you're getting there. And if you go to low, you guys see here the difference, right? So usually depending on whichever one you want to pick, it will determine how fast you're going to get in the call. So if I put medium here and I hit save, it's going to save those settings. So that's up to you guys to determine how much fees you want to pay as you guys are getting into that call. All right. So with that discussed, let's go over the first strategy. Let's show you guys how much money I started off with, what I ended up with, and then I'm going to explain why I ended up with that amount. And then I'm going to give you the other strategy, which is the higher entry point and different strategy to get in there. All right. With that being said, let's start off with day one. All right, so day one, guys, of trading with the Accelerate, guys. I'm gonna show you guys how much I'm gonna put in the wallet and what we did. Okay, so what we did is we used the strategy I showed you guys earlier. We placed $294 into the wallet, Solana there, and that's what we have in our slot number one to see how well this does while we sleep. Now, since I was sleeping, I really don't consider me making my calls consider me sleeping. So I added 2 additional channels. So when I go to bed or when I'm at work, say I wanted to see if the channels actually do and perform very well. So this was day one. We set this up, and now we're going to go to bed. We're going to go to work and see where we end up for day number. All right. So day number 2 is here, guys. Let's check out what we have. Let's check out how we did. So remember, we were like at 290 something. Day 2 is finally over, right? So day 1's finally over. Let's see what our P&L or our wallet looks like this time around. So let's click on wallet here. So we're actually up a little bit. We didn't go up like a lot, but a profit's profit, and we went up a little bit here. So we made like 20 bucks, $18 for day one. Not bad. Let's get ready for day number three and see how that turns out. All right, fellas. So day number three, I just got back from work. I'm kind of excited. I want to see what this looks like because I mean I can't really check it from my phone when I'm at work. But we're back. Let's see if we have any profit. If we made any gains. We did add two more groups from the TGs to see how that goes. And unfortunately, guys, that was like the worst idea ever because now I'm down $100. Guys. So I was trying to add some groups, see how they would fare, but that was a really bad call. Luckily, I called a really good token that that night, and that kind of brought me up a little bit from how low I was, but still, it didn't turn out so well. So I'm gonna remove those groups and keep it back to two. And see if we're able to get that, get our money back to 300, and then I'll report back. If that doesn't work out, I'm just gonna remove everything and just leave my TG. Then, fellas, so day number 4, yes, guys, day number 4, we're in here. I made a nice little call here recently, so we did pretty good. As you guys see, the buys and sells are there, and I'm pretty excited to see where we're at. The thing is, I felt like what was really messing me up, maybe I added too many TG groups. So last time I lost 100, so we removed two. But for some apparent reason, guys, the market kind of tanked around this time, this day 4, and I think the groups that I had added kind of went a little bit crazy. And now I am, I was able to recover just a little bit, but I'm still down a couple, from how we started, right? We started at 294, so I'm down still $100. Thankfully for the calls I've been making on my TG, those have been helping me kind of bounce back. But the other groups have been making me, I've been losing money on the other groups, not gonna lie. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove all of them completely, and I'm just gonna keep my TG, and we should be good from there. All right, guys, here we are on the final day, day 7. The thing I did completely different is I removed every group. I just left my TG and I just traded. I pretty much, whenever I called it on my TG, the bot would buy for me and the bot would sell for me. Basically, what we did is we were able to turn that 294 that we started off with to a whopping 683. So yes, you could make money while you're sleeping. Like if I am making calls and you're sleeping, you're gonna be making money. I still need to find a TG that whenever I'm sleeping or at work works really well. Haven't found one yet, but we're still searching and looking for that. Once we find one, I'll let you guys know. But that's what I did personally with just zero point 0.2 every single time I would make a call. Now, with that being said, let's see what the results are when you put more money in and what the profits could look like. All right, so I asked a buddy of mine just to connect my TG and just buy into my calls with a little bit more money than I was buying into. So he was putting like 4 to 5 soul every single call. As you guys see, this is kind of like what we have as far as the calls are concerned, guys. We have a 25. That's been our highest return this week. So pretty solid there. Recently we did this one right here, and you're gonna see the P&Ls based on the results of the calls, right? So that's kind of what we have right now. It's very easy to copy trade once you find the channel. So this is kind of like the strategy he had. He was selling at 50%. He was selling 85. Once it hit 50%, he would sell 85% of whatever he put in just to make sure he got his return. So the first one, this one, I think he kind of auto traded this one manually because he was actually able to get a nice P&L here of 1,116. So he made 1,116 out of the 484. Out of the robo coin, he made 433. All right, so that's pretty solid. That's already 1,500. He made out of the swarm, he made 164. So that's pretty solid gains there, guys. Like almost 1,700 right there with that call. He made another 200, so that's almost $2,000 right here with this one. And then he entered which other one did he put in here? Let me see. He entered the 2-2. So he's gonna, I think on that one he made another 277. So that's almost 2,300 on that call. And that's with that strategy, right? Taking away once he does 50%, taking out 85, and he's putting 4 to 5 soul per call. He made another 300 right here. So that's, another 2,000, 2,600 right there on this particular call. And on this other one, another 200. No, what's that? Another 200 right there. So, that's another crazy call, guys. So really crazy on the amount of money he's making due to the fact that he's putting in more, but he's taking out more as as it goes to 50%. Since he's putting more, he's getting out more out in return. So overall, in general, like if you add all these numbers up, I haven't added them up, but it's kind of like a little ballpark. It's almost over $5,000 that he's made just on this week alone. On trading my calls on the TG, which is pretty crazy. So if you want access to this bot and you kind of want to just sleep and put this on autopilot, link is down below. If you guys have any questions, ask them in the comment section down below as well. I'll try to answer them as much as you can. Also, don't forget to follow me on X, follow me on TG, so you could start printing and making this kind of money while you're sleeping. Hope you guys had liked this video. If you did, do me a huge favor, drop a comment, drop a like, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.